Hello everyone and welcome back to the Great Book of Grudges. My name is Nathan and we're back with another Total War Warhammer 3 video. Today we're going to discuss the main map for Total War Warhammer 3, so without further ado, let's begin. Total War Warhammer 3 is drawing closer and closer, with many fans of the series, including myself, speculating about all sorts of things about the game. Interestingly enough, however, when it came to talking about the campaigns, most of the attention is usually drawn towards the Mega Mortal Empires campaign. However, since that won't be released until later on in the game's life cycle, I believe we should shift our attention towards the main campaign. The map shown in the video right now is a full display of the Warhammer Fantasy world, with the cutout sections being of Game 1, Game 2, and a possible version for Game 3. While some have dismissed this as unlikely given the fact that there are a lot of races in the Far East that may or may not be playable, it is important to note that the size of the proposed Warhammer 3 map by many fans is more or less the same size as Warhammer 2. Now, there have been many fan speculations and many fan-made maps in regards to Warhammer 3, and we'll cover some of them in this video shortly, but I honestly feel that we'll get something in the lines of this style of map for Total War Warhammer 3's narrative campaign, with my reasoning being as follows. Firstly, it's around the same size as Total War Warhammer 2's Eye of the Vortex campaign, which means it will stay more or less the same in terms of scope and scale. Anything much smaller would present a bit of a problem, which leads us to our second point. If Warhammer 3 follows how Warhammer 2 did it in terms of how the beginning races were released, that being 4 unique playable races with 2 legendary lords each, with each of the legendary lords having their own start positions. If the map is too small, all the starting positions will be relatively close to each other, which won't provide the diversity in terms of starting position as Eye of the Vortex did. Using the Eye of the Vortex as an example, if the map was much smaller than it currently is, imagine all the races being closely packed in. Everything would just feel the same way play-wise as you do in Lustria at the moment, considering that everything is so chock-a-blocked there, you can't really have a moment's rest. It's legendary lord after legendary lord after legendary lord. The issue wouldn't just be there when it's just the 2 legendary lords per race. We have to take into account that we will get legendary lord DLC packs, and more than likely each of them will also come with an accompanying FLC lord. With that, the map would fill out relatively quickly, and you wouldn't be facing many minor factions anymore, just main playable factions. With that, it leads us to our third and final point about the map size, that it needs to be big enough not only to fit new DLC, but also cross-game DLC and the potential of new race packs. Cross-game DLC has proven to be quite popular, and if it's the case that the game is only focused around the Darklands, there's not a lot of potential for, say for example, the Lizardmen or the Bretonnians to come in. The same could be said about any potential race packs. While it's been confirmed that we're getting no more new races for Total War Warhammer 2, it's still very possible we might see 1 or 2 new races pop up in Warhammer 3. Now, I'm not necessarily saying that Cathay, Ind and Nippon could be race packs, but until they get flat out denied, I could still see it as a possibility. But we've been looking at this map for a long time, so now let's look towards a fan-made map for Warhammer 3. The concept is actually really quite good, and there's nothing to go against it. And in truth, a lot of people do speculate that we'll probably get something around this vein in terms of the campaign for Warhammer 3, but there's a bit of a problem there. There's a lot of stuff there from Game 1 and Game 2 respectively. You'll notice a large portion of the Empire and Norsca's there from Game 1, and a lot of the eastern parts of the Southlands in Game 2 has been added in, including Nagashizar all the way to the Dragon Isles, which has now become playable in Game 2. Now, as I said, the concept is very good, and I'm not going against the artist here, but as I said earlier in the video, you'll notice that by just limiting the map to certain regions, everything already feels a bit claustrophobic, doesn't it? There needs to be enough breathing room, especially in regards to legendary lords. Having them a little bit spread out is still better than having them close together. That being said, it does make sense to add in a bit of Game 1 and Game 2's map into it, just so you have an easy way to flow in cross-game DLC factions, and not just have them appearing out of the blue somewhere else. Now, we're still not really sure what the races will be for Warhammer 3, we have no hints towards that just yet, but many speculate the following. We'll have 1 Order faction in the terms of Kislev, we'll have 1 neutral faction, the Ogre Kingdoms, and 2 Chaos factions, the Chaos Demons and the Chaos Dwarves. So if we go back to the first speculated map, yeah, it can fit everyone barring Kislev, unless they cut into Total War 1's map a little bit, but all in all, this map makes the most sense. Now, they could just possibly cut off the southern wastes, because honestly, all that's down there are just demon-infused beastmen. They had no lore barring very small mentions, even to the point that Nippon probably has more lore than the southern beastmen, and they had no models whatsoever. And finally, if you look towards this version of the map, which features the maps from Warhammer 1 and Warhammer 2 added into the actual standard map, we can see that they fit thematically with each other, which could even give us a basic idea on how the Mega Mortal Empires campaign could look, just like the image shown above, which is a fan-made rough shot. It's quite outdated, as you can see, the Deathmaster's not there, neither is Malice, but more or less this could be the final result. But what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you have any ideas in regards to how big the map will be, what will be included into it, and so on. Let's start a bit of a discussion and see what we can come up together as a group. But with that, my friends, we've come to the end of our video. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, might I suggest giving the video a like, or even subscribing to the channel, as it really does help us out. In the description section below are various different social media links such as Facebook, Instagram and Discord, where you can get in contact with the Great Book team, talk to us about Total War Warhammer, Warhammer Tabletop, or anything really. Also in the description section below is an affiliate link with Element Games where you could buy loads of hobby-based products, not just Warhammer, for 10 to 25% off. Purchasing using that link below and also using our special code, which is also in the description, supports the channel at no extra cost to you, which we think is rather cool. A big thank you to our patrons. Your support means the world to us. Honestly, it's amazing that people want to help a small channel like us grow and get to a higher level of content. A big thank you to our patron Gibraltar LUSC for subscribing to us at our Fane level. Honestly, mate, you're super cool. And a big thank you to all of you for liking, sharing, commenting on these videos. Honestly, the channel's been growing a lot lately and it's all thanks to you guys, so we can't thank you enough. But with that, my friends, thank you for watching once again, and we shall see you all again very, very soon. Have a good day.